And the Pacers do it yet again. They get a huge Game 1 win against the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Now, we're going to talk about both teams here coming off of tonight's loss for the OKC Thunder and the Pacers win in Game 1. But let's start off with the Pacers. In every single series so far, Tyrese Haliburton has been amazing late in the fourth quarter. Against the Milwaukee Bucks, a beautiful layup over Giannis. The Cleveland Cavaliers, a beautiful step back three, game winner. Against the New York Knicks, goes out there, foot on the line, damn near ends the game, sends it to overtime. Game 1 against the OKC Thunder in the finals, beautiful mid-range shot over Cason Wallace. It's ridiculous. And this man was voted as the most overrated player in the NBA. Whoever voted him as the most overrated player in the NBA, they should have their heads checked. And if you're a Pacers fan, you should be happy that that article came out, because since that article came out, Tyrese Haliburton has been playing out of his mind. Now, I've said this before about Haliburton. I do view him as a superstar in the NBA. I got a lot of pushback for that. Moments like this is why I say that he is a superstar in the NBA. You don't have to go out there and score 30 plus points every single night to be put in that category. He hits big time shots over and over again. And we've seen this before last year in the playoffs. He's one of the best floor general point guards in the NBA. He may be the best floor general point guard in terms of going out there and getting his teammates involved and setting up an offense. Now, in the first half here, Shea had 19 points. We'll talk in depth with OKC in the next couple of minutes. But the Pacers, you had 19 turnovers as a team entering the second half. But I'm looking at the score. I could have sworn they would have been down by 20, 25 points. That wasn't the case. OKC was playing tremendous defense on the perimeter. They're swatting the passing lanes over and over again. They're filling the gaps. And I'm looking at the score. I'm like, okay, that's manageable for this team. I've seen them go out there and come back from the New York Knicks deficit, the same with the Cavaliers, the same with the Milwaukee Bucks. But if you're a Pacers fan, you may be panicking at this point in time. So we enter the second half. Rick Carlisle is one of the best coaches in the NBA. He makes a huge adjustment. He realized, hey, Tyrese Haliburton's dealing with a lot of pressure right now. The same with him and Andrew Nembhard. We're not running a lot of two-man game right now. We need to be more aggressive on the offensive end. So they're running screen plays with Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard. Miles Turner's going out there. He's starting to stretch the floor over and over again. And you look at it from this standpoint, whenever OKC, they'll go out there, they may go on a run. Here comes Obi Toppin. Out of nowhere, just knocking down threes over and over again. You look at Obi Toppin, besides Tyrese Haliburton and Andrew Nembhard, you could say that he was the game MVP tonight for the Pacers. He had 17 points, 6 of 9 from the field, but those 5 3-pointers really helped out the Pacers here. And they stuck with him late in the game. Shout out to Rick Carlisle once again. In the first half, they could not find open spaces to give the basketball to their shooters. In the second half, they were able to do that because they were more aggressive. In the first half, they played so freaking fast. This is already a team that has a great transition offense, but it can come with some pushbacks here. They were moving so fast. Dumb fouls on the defensive end, dumb fouls on the offensive end, just a clunky offensive situation. They were trying to rush shots over and over again to get OKC out of their defensive stance. Sometimes it's okay to slow it down. And that's what they did with Tyrese Haliburton late in the fourth quarter, and the same with Andrew Nembhard. Now, Nembhard here hits a beautiful step back three with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter that keeps them ahead of schedule. They don't have the lead just yet. We fast forward a little bit. He takes a terrible 3-point shot, but hey, he just made one a couple of seconds before. Pascal Siakam's right underneath the rim, goes up for it, gets the rebound, goes right back up. It's a 1-point game. They're keeping the game close. It was a situation with J-Dub. He misses a floater. Here comes the Pacers again. And it all leads up to the game-winning shot with Tyrese Haliburton. Right now, if you're a Pacers fan, you have to feel good as hell. You won this game on the road against the OKC Thunder. Similar to what you did against the New York Knicks. Now all the pressure is on OKC. They better win the next game. Because if they don't, you can say that this series is potentially wrapped. It is hard as hell to win against the Pacers on the road. You better ask the New York Knicks, and the same with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Sure, they'll slip up in game 3, but in game 4, they show up big time. This is a well-disciplined basketball team, and the coach of Rick Carlisle deserves a lot of credit here. It was so much off-ball action, and you rarely see players just standing around. And more times than not, if they are standing around, They're just trying to go out there and get an open look for three, whether it's Pascal Siakam and the same with Obi Toppin. One of the best offensive sequences that I've seen in NBA history came late in the fourth quarter with the Pacers over and over again. Just a free-flowing offense. If you love basketball, like I said against the New York Knicks in game 1, go back and watch this game. With both teams, but especially with the Pacers, they play as a team. You have so many weapons hitting you at once that you just can't go out there and just sit in your stance and say, you know what, I'll double team Pascal Siakam. Here comes Obi Toppin on the back end. And you would think tonight that he's just a sharpshooter from three. This man can get to the rim on a consistent basis and finish a lot of lob passes. You have Haliburton. He can knock down a three-point shot. Nembhard, the same. Nesmith, this man had 10 points, had 12 rebounds. 3 of 9 from the field, but 3 of 7 from 3. And he hit a lot of big-time threes as well. And I'm starting to notice a trend with Aaron Nesmith. Early in the game, he may be passive. As the game progresses, he's starting to be more and more aggressive. That's what you like to see from him. Every single player that played tonight for the Pacers did an amazing job. But to win this game 1 on the road against OKC, who's a heavy favorite, it's a big-time win for this organization and a big-time win for this team. And I'm happy for the Pacers fans because it's the first time in a very long time that they have been in this situation in the NBA Finals. They technically have never won an NBA championship before. They have won a championship before, but it was the ABA, not the NBA. So I look at the Pacers right now. I'm happy as hell for them. They did a great job rebounding in the second half. Now, I want you guys to realize something here. You ever played basketball before? It's hard as hell to go out there when you're down and you realize, man, that was a terrible first half. To come back in that matchup and to keep crawling and just keep going at the point of attack over and over again. We've seen this with teams before. They'll just hone it in. They'll say, you know what, it's a 7-game series. We'll show up next game. This is why you have to have a veteran head coach that has been in this situation before. And that's why you have Rick Carlisle. Now look at Pascal Siakam. Solid game. 19 points, 10 rebounds. Played very good in the second half. Whenever Cason Wallace is on him and whenever he was guarding him in this game, I was looking at my TV and I'm like, man, take him into the post and drive into him every single time. Get to your spot. Cason Wallace did have some struggles here and there, but Pascal Siakam early on wasn't aggressive. As the game progresses, started to be more aggressive over and over again. That's what you want to see out of a player that's won a championship before with the Toronto Raptors. But I look at the Pacers here. I'll admit, I counted them out in the past, especially against the New York Knicks early on. But I look at them now, very good team. This is still just one game, but the Pacers, you're in the driver's seat right now. If you can win the next game, that would be amazing. Now, for OKC here, first half, amazing. Shea, the 19 points. Shea ended with 38 points on the day, by the way, similar to what Donovan Mitchell did to the Pacers over and over again in that Cavaliers series. The problem was this. J-Dub entering the second half, shooting splits were terrible. J-Dub only had 17 points, 6 of 19, 1 of 4 from 3. This man hit that one pull-up 3 at the top of the key early in the game, and he thought that he was Stephen Curry. He needs to be more consistent. And I said this in my prediction and preview video. In order for the Thunder to go out there and for them to win this series, they need those offensive players that stepped up against Minnesota and that stepped up in that game 7 against the Nuggets to be consistent in this series. It has to be more than just Shea. Shea will go out there. He'll get to his spots over and over again. He did have a couple plays that made me scratch my head. And I'm like, okay, they're fouling Shea, but I understand why they're not calling it because I'll call it for what it is. He was foul baiting at times early on. As the game progressed, this man was just going to the rim, getting to those mid-range spots, and he hit a beautiful 3 entering the fourth quarter to end the third quarter. Shea, tremendous game. But when they started to put multiple defenders on Shea, Chet Holmgren needs to be more aggressive. J-Dub needs to be more consistent. Chet Holmgren had a very good game against Minnesota in that series, was very consistent. You only had 6 points and 6 rebounds, 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. Cason Wallace, 3 of 9 from the field, 0 of 3, only 6 points. Lou Dort, in the first half, this man looked like Stephen Curry. He's just hitting threes over and over again. Lou Dort just knocking him down. Late in the fourth quarter, it's starting to steam off a little bit. He doesn't have the same shooting splits anymore. You can start to see, hey, the luck is starting to run out a little bit here. And Lou Dort, I'll look at him, Solid three-point shooter. This year in the postseason, I'll give him his credit. In the past, early on in his career, you would just scratch your head and say, please stop shooting. But over the last couple of years, he's done a better job with his three-point shot. I can't come on here and blame him for this loss. I just can't. Because he was so amazing in the first half. He was playing great defense. The same with him. The same with Cason Wallace. The same with Chet Holmgren. They played very good defense in the first half, forcing this team to have those 19 turnovers. But they need more offensive production outside of Shea. Alex Caruso, also in the first half, amazing defense and transition over and over again. He hit a three. He ended the game with only 11 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, who came off the bench, 9 points, 9 rebounds. As soon as he came into the game, he's setting screens. It was one beautiful screen at the top of the key. He sets. It gets Shea all the way to the rim on the Indiana Pacers. You don't see the type of screens that Isaiah Hartenstein that he sets. Chet can't set the same type of screens. He just doesn't have the body and the strength that Isaiah Hartenstein does. And the reason why they did not go with the double big lineup is because of the spacing with the Pacers. You don't have to go out there and drastically change anything. You just have to go out there and be more consistent on the offensive end. And they're taking so many bad shots in the second half outside of Shea. You can't do that, and you can't rush your offense. That's what the New York Knicks did, and it got them in trouble. That's what the Cleveland Cavaliers did. You're rushing your offense to keep up with the Pacers because now the Pacers are running the transition game over and over again, and they felt that pressure. If you're an OKC fan, it's an annoying loss, but you can bounce back from this. With me saying all of that, they better win the next game. OKC has to win the next game. You want this to be 1-1. You don't want this to be a 2-0 situation. Look at what they did against New York. If you go down 2-0, you could come back. You could come back from a 3-1 deficit. You can come back from a 2-0 deficit. But it is hard as hell, especially against a disciplined team like this against the Pacers. And it does leave a nasty taste in your mouth if you're an OKC fan because you felt like you had this game won. The same way the Knicks felt like they had game 1 won. The same against the Cavaliers when they blew that lead against the Pacers. And the same with the Milwaukee Bucks. You can never count this team out. And I felt like the Thunder went out there. They stopped being aggressive. They started settling for three-point shots. You never want to see that. Still get to the rim. Put that pressure on the Pacers. Force them to play from behind over and over again and keep your foot on the gas pedal. Going against a team like this that may have the greatest transition offense that we've ever seen, they're never out of the game. They'll get those open looks over and over again. They have so many players that they can throw at you just like OKC. And this is the one thing that bothers me with OKC. The three-point percentage is not as strong in the postseason as it was in the regular season. But OKC, they'll be fine. But I look at the Pacers here. You're in that driving seat. Go out there. Finish out the job. Win that next game at all costs. And the same with OKC Thunder. And all the people that were saying this is going to be a weak finals, man, the finals are boring. Don't listen to them. Those are just a lot of fans. They feel salty because their team got knocked out, maybe by one of these teams. A lot of people feel like names like LeBron and Stephen Curry, they still drive the lead the same with Kevin Durant. I see where you're coming from. But in every sports league, the greats, they got to retire at some point. They can't stick around forever. We've seen this with baseball. We've seen this with basketball. We've seen this with football. Michael Jordan didn't play forever. Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, didn't play forever. It's time to move on for some of those players. And this is today's NBA. Two of the best teams are here for a reason. And I love this final so far in game 1. I'm rooting for a 7-game series. I want to see more basketball on TV. So if I sound like I'm being biased here towards one team or the other, I promise you I'm not. I'm not a Pacers fan. I'm not an OKC fan. I just want to see good basketball at the end of the day. But if you missed this game, go back and watch it. But let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this game and game 1 with the Pacers and the OKC Thunder. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.